Sonic, he can really move. Sonic, he's got an attitude. Sonic, he's the fastest thing alive. And you know, dang right, he's the fastest thing alive. I owe a lot of my life to the Blue Blur, or the Blue Devil, whatever you want to call him. The little hedgehog that could. The little guy that put Sega, the Genesis, and pretty much everything on the map, who is still hugely relevant in video gaming and pop culture today. So I figured, why not pay homage to the Blue Blur and how he means so much to me, with a special 3 gaming items I'm proud to own episode, all about Sonic. Let's jump right in. Or, excuse me, let's do it to it. So the first Sonic item I actually wanted to chat about today is something that I got at a convention. So we're in the midst of multiple different anniversaries of Sonic. Like we had the 15th anniversary, we had the 20th anniversary, we had the 25th anniversary, which is how I got this shirt. We actually have the 30th anniversary. Sonic's getting up there in years. So with all these different iterations of Sonic, there's always been cool items that you can get for the anniversary, so to speak. And so the one that I wanted to share with you all is this one, which actually came with the 20th anniversary of Sonic, which also at the same time was the release of Sonic Generations. So what this is that this was actually a promo pack for Sonic Generations and for the 20th anniversary of Sonic that came with a DVD, which basically was a little small promotional video for Sonic Generations and whatnot. My copy is still sealed, but if you look online on YouTube, you can still find the video for it out there. But it's just so cool to be able to have something like this, and I love Sonic Generations. I love Sonic Generations dearly. It is my second favorite Sonic game, right behind Sonic 2. Generations is outstanding and amazing, so I wanted to have everything that you possibly could get. Unfortunately, the main thing I really wanted was the collector's edition that we never got in the US. I did manage to grab this. So what was cool about, not only did I have this, but this is an Image 3D, aka the viewfinder, but not having the actual viewfinder license, of Sonic. And what's cool is that if you look inside these images, it shows Sonic throughout the years. So there's Classic Sonic, there's Modern Sonic, Adventure Sonic, you got Sonic Heroes Sonic, Sonic 06, we've got Unleashed Sonic, Colors Sonic, and then Sonic Generations. Beyond just owning this, it was how I got it that really means a lot to me. So in San Antonio, there's an anime convention by the name of San Japan. But what was cool about it is that they had a panel that was all about video gaming trivia. Now, I wasn't part of the actual people at the front panel for it. But what was cool is that whenever the people at the front panel couldn't get an answer correctly, they actually polled the audience for answering questions. And every time that anybody in the audience answered a question, they would get a raffle ticket. And there was a table full of different gaming items. And I saw this up there. I saw this item up there. So please believe I was determined to get every single question I could possibly get that the contestants could not get. And so I had 9 tickets total, I believe. I believe it was 9 tickets total. Ron-chan, my wife, she was there with me. I believe it was 9 tickets total. And when we got up there, so everybody got in line with the amount of tickets, and there were like a few people in front of me, so I was crossing my fingers. Don't pick the Sonic stuff, don't pick the Sonic stuff. So I was crossing my fingers hoping that that was the case. And sure enough, I got up to the front. Some of the higher dollar items were still there. And so the MC was basically like, okay, man, what do you want? You want the 360 game? I was like, what would you like? I was like, no, I want that. And they looked at me and they were like, wait, you want the Sonic stuff? I mean, that was kind of like the booby prize, really, out of anything. I was like, you sure you want to take? No, I want that. They're like, okay. So they gave me this. And sure enough, it's stuck with me now throughout my entire life. So as part of my big Sonic collection, like I love and adore this. So now at this point, I have something related to the 15th, 20th, the 25th, and the 30th anniversary of Sonic. And so out of everything that I have, especially because if it's tied to Sonic Generations and how awesome that game is, I love this so much. It's awesome. Okay, so we're going to travel back in time for the next Sonic item that we're going to talk about. So in my original Sonic collection video, I talked about the contest that I won from watching the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog TV series, where if you answered the questions correctly all days and then send it in to the news station, which would be Channel 20, I believe, in Houston, and you basically could win a Sonic prize pack, which came with temporary tattoos, a shirt, a balloon, which I still have the balloon, and there was one other thing in the collection that means so much to me, and that was this. This is a Nico Sonic RC car. So what was so cool about this is that, so you gotta keep in mind, back in the days when this was actually released, which this was released in 1993, this is when I got it. You gotta think about it back in the day. If you try to buy Sonic stuff today, there's Sonic stuff everywhere. You can now walk into like your local supermarket and you can buy Sonic's toys. It wasn't like that back in the day. It was really, really far and sparse what you could get. You might be able to get a plush here and there. Of course, the Sonic comic was out there, which I'm gonna get to that in a minute. You couldn't really find any sort of other toys. So this was something that was kind of an island onto itself. But what was so neat about this one is that it wasn't just your average kind of RC toy. It was one that was like, it required your batteries, your 9-volt battery for the remote and whatnot. And from what I gather, it worked really, really well. So it controlled like your typical RC car. But what's unique about this one, and I'll open it up and I'll show you. What's unique about this Sonic RC car is that it added one little piece to the back of it. It added this little metal piece that you attach to the back of the unit. If you stuck this metal piece to the back of the car, which actually sticks right up in there, it adds more weight to the back. So as you're doing that, and the whole concept of this RC car was to make Sonic do a Sonic spin. So as you're doing that, it basically was a way for you to whirl around in circles while controlling Sonic, or just do like an afterburner shootout or anything like that. It was so cool, and it worked very well. And I used the heck out of this thing. So much, unfortunately, that mine doesn't work anymore. If you have items from your past like this, and there's still batteries in them, take those batteries out, please. Because unfortunately, I believe in the escape of doing that, I killed this car, which is a dang shame, because I remember when I made my first Sonic collection video, I wanted to showcase this thing and how it worked. But then I opened up the battery pack, and yeah, all the coke cleaning and the electronic battery changing, cleaning and whatnot that I tried to do on it, I could never get it to work. Someday I would love to try to replace this thing. I don't even know how much it's worth now, but I would love to try to replace it, see if I can get a working one. Now, of course, Ncock and various other companies have actually made RC Sonic cars that are working and are awesome and amazing, and we'll get to that in a future video. But this one just means the world to me, unfortunately, that it doesn't work, but it's still really awesome to have in my Sonic collection. So back in 2018, I actually went to an event in Savannah, Georgia called Sonic and Sega Fan Jam. It was an absolute blast getting a chance to go out there, getting a chance to meet so many other fellow members of the community. I got a chance to meet Some Call Me Johnny. I got to meet Treasure Hunting Sonic. I got to meet Adventure Blur. I got to meet T-Lopes. I got to meet, and his concert was awesome. I got a chance to win some Streets of Rage swag, which I'm going to talk about in future gaming items. And it was just like so many other cool things that I got a chance to do while I was there. But there was one person that I knew was going to be there, that I was expecting to be there, and I brought something very, very awesome. So Tyson Hess, who is a big contributor to art for Sonic, works on the IDW Sonic comic, all kinds of awesome stuff, tremendous artist, and I knew that he was going to be there. So I wanted to bring something for him to do a little bit of art on. For those of y'all who don't know, IDW is the current holder of the Sonic the Hedgehog comic. Archie doesn't make them anymore, IDW makes them. It's a completely new saga, whole new Sonic series, and it is a tremendous, outstanding series. Read it when you get a chance. So, with issue number 1, I went on a quest to own every single version, every single variant of issue number 1, which I covered in my Sonic collection video, which you can see right up here. But there was one in here that was a blank sketch variant. So if you're familiar with comics, a lot of times comics will come out with a blank sketch variant that you can bring to either conventions, or you can commission somebody to do art on, or even just do art on yourself. Who cares? It's your comic. Do whatever you want, right? So I knew that Tyson was going to be there. So he was actually doing doodles and whatnot before. And so when I met him, I got a chance, I gave him a fist bump, and I was like, hey, it's so great to meet you. I love your work. You did tremendous on this, right? And so I was like, hey, could you do like a little doodle of Sonic for me on this blank comic? And he was like, yeah, sure. He's like, no problem. Come back in, I don't know, maybe about 10 minutes. I was expecting like maybe a little Sonic head or something like that to put on there. I wasn't expecting this. I was not expecting a full-blown, full-on sketch of Sonic, and he did this all in like roughly, I'm not even going to say he did it in 10 minutes. I bet you he did it quicker than that, because I think I went back in like 15 or 20 minutes or something like that. But I bet you he did it even quicker than this. But yeah, just the sheer fact, he didn't even charge me or anything. I asked him, I was like, for this, it's like, how much do I owe you for that? And it's like, no, don't worry about it. And it's like, don't worry about it at all. I wound up buying one of his prints while I was there too. It's like, no, let me contribute in some way, because this was above and beyond what I could really expect for anybody to do, and just like in any sort of sketch. And it's like, if you get a moment, check out the IDW comic. I know a lot of people have their trepidations about it because of the Archie comic and whatnot. It's fine. The Archie comic is done. This is the one that's up. give it a chance. I think it's fantastic, and this is even more fantastic to own this in my collection. But yes, big ups to Tyson for this. You really, if you're watching this, you really didn't have to do this, bud. This was just tremendous for me. And thank you very much. And it now sits right at the front of the shadow box with all of my issue 1 to my IDW comic. So yeah, there were 3 way past cool Sonic items I wanted to share with you all. And if you want to see more of my Sonic collection, I've got so many more stories to tell. I've even got 2 full walls of collections that I did videos for my Sonic collection. You can catch them right up in the iCard description or in the playlist that you see on the channel. And while you're at it, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. It absolutely helps the channel out. I've got more Sonic collection stuff to come. And of course, you can catch me on Twitch 4 days a week, streaming twitch.tv/G to the next level. I do Sega stuff, all kinds of awesome things. And you can find me on all things social: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at G to the next level. And as always, be you and be awesome. I'm G. Thank you for watching, and I'm out of here.